Scientists estimate that the first humans walked on the surface of the Earth approximately 50,000 years ago. From that time till now, it is estimated that more than 108 billion people have lived on Earth. All these people lived in different civilizations during different centuries. However, one common thing that all these people and their civilizations have shared is planet Earth. All the amazing developments that each civilization made during its time remained on the surface of Earth, and as that civilization died, its buildings, items of use, and all kinds of artifacts got buried under the surface of the Earth. So the topic of today's video is to 10 most mysterious ancient artifacts discovered in the world. Also, if you're new to the channel, remember to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on another amazing tech video we post. Number 10. The Dendrolite. However, another mysterious, antique hailing from ancient Egypt is the Dendrolite theme, carved into the stone at the Hathor Sanctuary, in Dara, Egypt. The dendrolite appears to portray old lighting, the framework that went all through, the tomb that shows up to, have utilized power presently, whereas this could appear exceedingly impossible. It would certainly clarify the lack of lampblack stores within the cave, which ought to have been the display had customary lights been utilized. However, in spite of this proof, the speculation has been rejected by numerous standard history specialists who instead accept that the plans on the divider were not delineations of power but instead modeled after typical pictures from Egyptian mythology. Notwithstanding the presence of this electrical framework will likely stay a secret for the predictable future. Number 9. The Underwater Cairn. Galilee sits a rock pile that, to the untrained eye, may not seem like much. However, it turns out that this is in fact a man-made pile of stones that is 70 meters in diameter, 10 meters high, and weighs in at a total of 60,000 tons, likely being about 4,000 years old. No one knows exactly what the Sharon was used for. However, many historians believe that the Sharon was perhaps a burial site above water, and that over time the area was flooded by the sea, hence its current status as an underwater monument. Yet with some conspiracy theorists disregarding these findings and instead claiming that it was built by aliens. Perhaps the reality is that this underwater Sharon has extraterrestrial origins. Number 8. The Nazca Lines, located on the Peruvian coastal plain, about 400 kilometers south of Lima, Peru. The Nazca Lines are a mystery to both historians and conspiracy theorists alike, made about 2,000 years ago. They are large, elaborate etchings into the rock below that can only be seen in their entirety by air. As a result, there has been wild speculation as to what their purpose was, with many pointing to them as having some sort of astronomical or religious significance. However, to this day nobody is 100% sure what they were really used for. Number 7. A no stone being found by chance in the Scottish countryside in 1887. It goes without saying that the no stone which was found near the Cocteau farm is certainly a curiosity, measuring in at 13 by 8 meters. The no stone is believed to be about 5,000 years old and has more than 90 carved inscriptions written into it, being considered to be the finest example of Bronze Age cup and wren carvings in all of Europe. The actual meaning of the inscriptions is still unknown, with many believing that it has something to do with either astronomical records or descriptive art. Regardless, with time was sure that this mystery will eventually be solved. Number 6. The Voynich manuscript acquired under mysterious circumstances by Polish antique bookseller Filtered Voice in 1912. The Voynich manuscript is easily one of the most mysterious texts known to man, having been carbon dated to the early 15th century. The book was written in Central Europe using an elaborate yet unknown alphabet, along with several pictures and diagrams that denote everything from female nude portraits to zodiac signs. Unsurprisingly, ever since both expert and amateur cryptographer have tried to crack the manuscript code, with countless hypotheses being made over the years as to what the text truly is, and while it really could be anything from a complex scientific journal to a complete hoax, if you'd like to try deciphering it for yourself, it can be accessed today at Yale University's Bennett Carrere Book and Manuscript Library. Number 5. The Tech. I.C. collects Tlahuaca head, while most historians believe that the Spanish were the first to colonize Mexico. The Tonkazik Calyx Tlahuaca head suggests that this may not have been the case. First found by archaeologists in an Aztec burial site about 65 kilometers west of Mexico City. This head, which is made of terracotta, seems pretty mundane at first. However, what makes this relic incredible is that countless experts have confirmed that it was not made in Mexico but instead in ancient Rome, luckily having been crafted around 200 AD. As a result, a lot of speculation has occurred onto how the head arrived in the New World, with many believing that perhaps a Roman ship and sailed to Mexico. Number 4. The Holy Jar. While most jars today are made to store sauces and jams, this holy jar stands out due to its complete inability to hold much of anything known as the Holy Jar. It was most likely retrieved from ancient Roman temple in Britain and dates back to anywhere from 43 to 410 AD. Found after being lost for a few decades in an unrecognizable heap of 180 pieces at a storage room at the Museum of Ontario Archaeology in Canada. Once put together, it baffled researchers as no similar Roman-era jar could be found in order to compare it to. As a result, although some have speculated that could have been used to store dormice, which were a popular ancient Roman snack, or snakes, which were of great religious significance, the truth of the matter is that we never really know what it was used for. Number 3. The Stone Spheres of Costa Rica. Known locally as La Bolas. The mysterious stone spheres of Costa Rica date back to 600 AD. Made by the indigenous to keep people. Very little is known about them today, that the Daki were wiped out when the Spanish colonized the area a few hundred years ago. Now the stones themselves are fascinating, due to them being made by hammering basalt limestone and sandstone stones together and sanding them out into the shape of a sphere, with their size range from just a few centimeters long to as much as 2 meters in diameter and 15 tons in mass. However, historians really aren't sure as to what the stones were used for, with most guessing that they were either used as landscape decorations on the property of a chieftain, house markers to point the way to significant places, or even tools to help with astronomy. Regardless. Number 2. The Baghdad Battery. Although Italian inventor Alessandro Volta was credited with making the first real battery in the year 1800, it turns out that the Persian Empire may have beat him to it over 1,000 years earlier. That's because in 1938 German archaeologist Wilhelm Koenig unearthed a 5-inch clay pot that contained a copper cylinder encasing an iron rod, being thought to be as much as 2,000 years old. Koenig thought that the contraption was used as a battery because it filled with a weak acid-like vinegar, which would have been available at the time. It could theoretically produce about 1 volt of energy. However, there are also many skeptics that have claimed that the battery could never work, as it was set up in such a way that attaching a wire to it. Number 1. The Rosetta Stone. Although many of the artifacts on this list have some sort of historical significance, few can rival that of the Rosetta Stone, likely made in the year 203 BCE. It is a royal decree that was made to announce the 1-year anniversary of King Ptolemy of Egypt. Now at face value, the stone really isn't all that unique after all, due to it being essentially an ancient Egyptian version of a public service announcement. Multiple copies were made of it across the empire, as renditions of it were present at all major temples. However, what makes the Rosetta Stone special is the fact that it inscribed the decree not just in Egyptian hieroglyphics, which would have beefed it the writing of a priest, but also Demotic, which was a language of ordinary Egyptian people, and ancient Greek, which was the language of the Greek administration of Egypt. That was all for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did so, then don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more amazing updates. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.